Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sap. I camp our Lion Den, Ha1 Ben Yashua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I have to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children. Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Ha Roka Kodash Mahamath. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Ha1. Salutation to the archangel on the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, something popped up on my phone here and it caught my attention. And through the spirit in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I said, let me look in scripture, see if I can do a lesson. It says here, small American farmers in serious crisis. And it says the back story, right? See, you can see that right there. Very important to look into just in case. And it has to do how corporations, how conniving they are, right? And how they want to enforce their belief system to everyone, right? And how the people in power, the Edomites, who are the governments of this wicked kingdom, how they participate so beautifully and happily, right? Well, there's two battles in business that's going on, right? The public and the private. And they want to remove private business and just implement public business, okay? So now the Edomites, the middle class who are in private business, right, are fighting back. You know, how can their own people do this to them, okay? So I'm going to play a little bit of it. The title of this lesson is called Business Practice from Yahweh. Okay, here we go.
Welcome, everyone. We're here with another fascinating interview with Joel Salatin. And if you haven't read his books, you need to. They're awesome. There's a situation that we want to talk about right now. So welcome, Joel. Can you tell us a little bit about the situation that's happening with small farmers right now in the relationship to selling food?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Eric, and thank you for having me on. It's a real pleasure and an honor to be with you. You know, when you walk into a Walmart or a supermarket, it's easy to assume that, well, good grief, you know, the cornucopia is here. I can have anything I want. And the fact is that all the food in a supermarket is carefully sanctioned, if you will, or licensed by a labyrinth of government regulations, not just food regulations, but zoning regulations and all sorts of things that make it very difficult for especially small farmers to come in. I remember one time I had a bunch of vice presidents from, I think it was Sam's Club, either Sam's Club or Costco. The nine vice presidents were on a kind of a nature tour around the East Coast. They'd come from Arkansas, where their headquarters is. And we were one of their stops. They were going to spend the day out on the Chesapeake Bay and things. And I gave them a farm tour. We're having lunch in the sales building there, and they asked me, well, they were totally impressed. They got it. They got, you know, ecological farming. They got earthworms. I mean, it all resonated. Animal welfare, those sorts of things. And they asked me, well, how do we get your stuff into, you know, a Costco or a Walmart or whatever? And I said, well, the first thing you have to do is allow a truck smaller than a tractor trailer to back up to your loading dock. Dr. Eric, end of discussion. That was it. Wow. They could not even go anywhere. So that's not government regulations. That's just you know, the system. The system is it is conceived interests that are there. And I'm not going to suggest it's a conspiracy. I'm not even sure that a lot of these people know the impact of their policies, like not letting a one-ton truck back up to the dock. I mean, I could tell by these folks' expression, the thought never occurred to them. Oh, well, a small farmer would have trouble coming in a tractor trailer. I don't think it ever crossed their mind. It's a different world. And so I like to use the word conspiracy or evil intent. I think a lot of this stuff just happens because people aren't thinking about it, and it just is what it is. But the fact is that there are many things. If you start thinking about, wonder what it'd be like to have a truly artisanal craft cheese, for example, made by a local farmer with unpasteurized milk. What would it be like to have a homemade pepperoni, bologna, charcuterie made by an artisanal pork producer that the pigs ran outside, ate grass and acorns, and this person made these real specialty, Polish sausage and things.
Mm-hmm.
But that none of that exists. In fact, in Virginia right now, there is not. If as a small farmer, if I want to make and sell a hot dog, I mean a good hot dog, not scrapings off the floor somewhere, but a good all meat hot dog with no fillers, no junk in it, just beef and pork, and that's it.
Yeah.
There is not a place in Virginia that can make a legal hot dog that I can sell.
Unbelievable. Incredible.
So in order for me to sell a hot dog, I have to ship boneless product up to Pennsylvania and pay a large facility there to make our hot dogs and then ship them back to ourselves.
Wow. Wow.
And then, of course, that makes the price of the food a little bit higher. So then you get accused of being, you're a food elitist. Look at your prices. Well,
yeah.
When I have to,
Blowing out the
Oh,
tips of your
Slovakia,
work food
give me a minute, you know
sucks.
how it is.
Thankfully, Brunt just released their new next generation. Yeah, I just, I want to support a local farmer, a small farmer that's doing it right, because that's the type of food I want to eat. But it's becoming very difficult to get that food, and I can see why. All the regulations and the support for the bigger industry, so it's making it harder and harder. One of the things that you're doing is you're having a conference with a bunch of farmers that are very creative, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that solution?
Yeah, so the Rogue Food Conference was started about 4 years ago, and John Moody and I kind of started it. I'd been wanting to do this for years, but I needed a manager sidekick. I'm a visionary, okay? I'm a dreamer. I'm out here in La La Land, and I need a stage manager. I can conceive the theme and the story, but I'm not the guy to actually run the stage. And so John Moody came along. He said, "Yeah, I'll do that." And so we launched the first one in the spring of 2020, literally 1 week before the lockdown started. And the theme is circumvention, not compliance. What happens, Dr. Eric, is that when regulations become so onerous that they prohibit competition coming to the table, to the marketplace table, there comes a time when it's actually more efficient to figure out a circumventive way, an end run, than it is to try to run up through the middle and agree to comply with everything. And so we started looking around the country and said, where are the people that have figured out how to do this, how to make an end run? And lo and behold, there are a bunch of them. I mean,
wow,
not myriads by any means, but there's enough to actually create a nascent movement. So this will be our, 7th or 8th Rogue Food Conference. It's going to be here in Virginia. We're going to be hosting it at our farm. and we'll be showcasing people. And what we've been doing is showcasing ideas and people. So let me give you a couple of examples. One is a lady in North Carolina that has started a 501c3 food church. You join her church, you get the food, and her whatever her protection is freedom of religion.
Wow.
It's my religion that I'm to take care of my body. It actually doesn't belong to me. It belongs to God. And it's not supposed to have junk. And so in order for it to not get junk, in other words, it's part of the whole, the whole religious experience. Okay. So that's one example. And the state of North Carolina has tried to shut her down. She's had as many as six food police cars. I call them food police. Yeah.
Slacker, yeah, but with the problem with that he's not saying when it comes for your belief, because we're not a religion, this is our culture, which is big difference. That the contract of the 501c3 incorporated church is that they're going to be the ones who are going to put the rules and regulations. Yeah, they're going to allow that you can sell the food, but they're going to put other stipulations on your belief. Things that you cannot do, things that you cannot talk about. You see? So we're living in a corrupted kingdom, right? Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. That's the kind we need Yahweh Shai. A little bit more. Here we go.
Parked outside her warehouse there, and they can't touch her. She said, you have no jurisdiction here. This is, freedom of religion. And
Wow.
and so far she's winning that argument. There's a guy in Florida who has gone under the pet food regulations. So about 8-9 years ago, he was raided for selling unlicensed dairy products. So he was milking cows and selling ice cream and kefir and yogurt and milk and butter, completely unlicensed. But his customers were thrilled. The stuff was unbelievably good, and they felt better, and people wanted it, and so he was selling it. Well, he got busted, as they say, he got busted, and so as a result, working with the Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund, which is a group of attorneys that kind of like the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, they got the Florida bureaucracy to craft pet food licenses that you could license any food for $25 and register it as a pet food.
I love
And
it.
so he licensed his milk and kefir and yogurt, $25 a piece as a pet food, and now sells food not for human consumption. Eric, within 1 year of that new new policy going into effect, 12 full-time raw milk dairies sprang up in Florida.
Okay, let me just stop right there. But you can see how public business is, growing at a massive rate that they want to dictate, right, to the people or the farmers who have been doing this for years, right? But then again, this is Yahweh Shin Yahshai doing all this because this wicked kingdom is going down. I want to go to Leviticus chapter 25, verse 14. If thou sells aught unto thy neighbor, or buy aught of thy neighbor, give me a minute, hand ye shall not oppress one another, right? When you look up the word ought, you know that it means used to indicate duty or correctnesses, right? Typically when criticizing someone's action, right? And these big corporations, really what they want to do is promote artificial fake food, right? What's his name? Kyle Schwab, right? He said you would eat bugs. Okay? They want to dictate what you got to eat. If it was something that was healthy, beneficial, and it's from Scripture, that's different, right? But they want to put their poisonous stuff in it, right? And then tell you what you can eat and what you cannot eat. Verse 14, in other words, not to do wrong in buying or selling. That's simple, right? But no, we live in a corrupted system, okay? And the government that is in power, pretending that they believe in the true God of heaven and earth, Slakia, when they don't really, obey his laws to begin with. I want to go to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wage of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Right? But they do that. When you go to a job, you don't get paid the same day. They're supposed to pay you in silver or in gold. Right? In case you don't like the attitude of the people that own it, you just get your money and leave. But no. The banks want to hold it, so when they build up interest, they get to keep the interest, and they just give you, as we say in slang's term, the chump change. Right? They're stealing. That's another way of theft. Right? Now, we're not supposed to defraud our own people either. Okay? But you have Jake that do that. Why you think Yahweh Shai is coming back to burn this wicked kingdom off the face of the earth? Want to go to Exodus chapter 20. Verse 15. Thou shalt not steal. Right? But they do that to us all the time. Okay? Every day they steal from us. What's another word for stealing that the Edomites do a lot? It's called invisible tax. Right? They want to tax everything that we do. Okay? Even breathing. Want to go to Leviticus chapter 25. Verse 37. Give me a minute. I'm going to keep it short tonight. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victu for increase. Victu, if I'm pronouncing it right, if not Slovakia. You don't hold on people's food or provision of getting what is good and right and healthy. But they do that to us, this wicked system, right? They want us to buy that which is expensive, right? Because they, like this man said, because they took it from one country and brought it from another country. So they can raise the prices so they can get rich, right? When everything could be grown here, right? That's how corrupted they are. Verse 37, not to make a loan to an Israelite on interest. But they do that, right? On everything. Getting a house, right? Getting a car, or getting just money from a bank. So you can see that these banks and these people of corruption of a high power in this wicked world, it's not really respecting, right, the laws that are written in the Bible. They want to keep us in slavery, right? Keep using us so they can get wealthy, right? And they want to keep us in sin so they can keep getting wealthier. Well, now the tables are turning and they don't like it. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 20. What happened? Give me a minute. I said Deuteronomy. Oops. Deuteronomy chapter 23. It's not taking it. Very interesting. Verse 20. Let's see if it takes it now. Here we go. Well, let me start with 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother. Usury of money, usury of victual, of food, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. That's a no-no. Right? Verse 20. Unto a stranger thou may lend. Now, it says strangers. It's not talking about our people. It's people who are not part of the 12 tribes. Lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that Yahweh thy power may bless thee in all that thou setst thy hand to, in the land whither thou goest to what? Possess it. Now you know why the wicked do what they do to us. They don't want us to follow, the laws accordingly of Scripture. Right? Why you think Yahweh sent Yahweh Shai? Right? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are the ones who created all things. They control all things. Okay? So Yahweh Shai came, right? His blood was spilled for us. And now we have that opportunity to come back to the Father through the Son. Right? Because no way that we can follow the 613 laws anyway. Okay? Not in this wicked economic system world. Plus your body, our body has to be perfected. This isn't a perfected body that we got. That was 23. I want to go to Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 3. Of a foreigner thou may exact it again. Yeah. Who is not part of the 12 tribes. But that which is with thy brother, thy hand shall release. Yeah. You can't, be charging interest to our people. We don't do that to one another. We're not supposed to. Okay? That's wicked. Let me go back to, let me go to Exodus chapter 22, verse 21. Thou shalt neither vex a stranger or oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Right? Now, when you hear that, the 501c3 incorporated Christian churches, prostitute at that, are going to say, well, you can't do that to the Edomites. Well, Scripture already made it clear in Revelation, and it's like I don't recall right now what chapter and verse, that they're going to be going to slavery for 1,000 years. They're not going to escape and get away from all the oppression they have done to our people. No sirree. Okay? Again, the stranger is our people, not to oppress. Right? Not all of them went to Egypt to begin with. All right. Let's go to, that was 22. 21. I want to go to 22. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. Well, don't they afflict our women that were married? All the time. How about the child fatherless? Isn't the hands of the Edomites who murder our people, and now their children don't have their father with them? Yeah. Or how about when they don't want the father to be back with their wife, right? So they put the wife on to trick them and deceive them to pay child support as long as the man doesn't come back. Keep him out. Right? It's wicked. Wicked. Verse 23, if thou afflicts them in any wise, and thy cry at all unto me, I will what? Will surely hear their cry. And that is not good, but that's what's happening. It's not good for the Edomites when I say that, by the way. I want to go to Psalm 118. Oops, like I said, Psalm. Give me a minute. Chapter 18. That's what I meant. It's like verse 6. In my distress I call upon Yahweh, and cry unto my power. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Verse 7. Then the earth shook. Woo! Get ready. And trembled the foundation also of the hills. Right? That's the cities of governments. Moved and were shaken because he was rough. Verse 8. There went up a smoke out of his nostril, and fire out of his mouth. There you go. Devouring coal were kindled by it. Those so-called UFOs, those are chariots when Yahushua comes back with the host of angels. He's going to be zapping and disintegrating people left and right. The wicked, the heathens, right? And he's going to be burning America down to ashes. Why you think the Edomites have bunkers under the ground or in the ocean, right? Or trying to escape into space? Because they know that terror is coming back. Want to go to... Where was I? Give me a minute. Let me go to and leave it with Exodus chapter 22, verse 24. Let me go with this. Yeah, let me leave it with this, 24 and 25. Verse 24, and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Verse 25, if thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, by the Edomites, keep robbing us, keep stealing from us, committing deceitful, defrauding us, shall not be to him as a usury, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. But they did it. And since they did it, they're going to have to pay the price for all this wickedness. I hope that this was edifying. And with that, I say, Shalom.